Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to the League Zero Formula 3 Series. Tonight, our competitors going out to Canada for the first time this season, guaranteed to be another good show. Last week, if you remember, Raymond Aguilar picked up the win at the feature event, but at the sprint race, it was time for a new winner here at League Zero, where John Kasai brought home his first career victory. Gareth McAllister, the young Australian, also picking up his first podium. So looking forward to another great night tonight. As always, my name is James Eastbury, the Action 1080p, 60 frames a second, as we get ready to wrap up qualifying here today and send them out. Looking forward to seeing what the guys are going to do here tonight, as it's always an action-packed event, 2.7 miles around the raceway, ambient temp of about 89 degrees Fahrenheit. But historically, these drivers have been talking about a very hot racetrack throughout this season. It'll be interesting to see just how things pan out here tonight and who maybe else bringing home a first-time win. As always, let us know where you're from, who you're cheering for, as these drivers will often have the broadcast pulled up on a separate screen. If not, they just about will always go back and watch it, as we've got just about a minute and a half left in qualifying. Let's see where the standings are. It's Peterson in the number 24 machine up on top. He's 0.05 of a second faster than Aguilar, the number 72 machine. And you've also got Bradtree, the number 26. He's up in the top three as well. Looking like a pretty healthy grid out here tonight. 19 entries have made their way out. 17 drivers have put down a qualifying time. Right now, I don't think anybody's going to be able to touch Peterson. He's still out on track trying to click off laps. Last time by a 130.9. But I'm not sure if he's going to be able to squeeze any more out. Look at that on the right-hand side of your screen. Track temp fairly cool, 90 degrees out here tonight compared to the 110, the 115s, and sometimes the 120 track temps we've seen. That may lead to some more grippy cars, but if practice and qualifying is anything to say, I'd still be seeing our fair share of self-spins out here this evening. Checkered flag is out for qualifying. Peterson's going to lock it in. And let's get ready for the feature event here tonight. Starting on pole, Nick Peterson, the number 24 machine. Raymond Aguilar starting second. Brad Tritton starting third. We've got Connor Scribner starting fourth. Julie Redmond starting fifth. John Kasai starting sixth. Hunter Graves starting seventh. Chase Small starting eighth. We've got Kevin Burrows, 9th on the grid. Peter Rettinger starting 10th. Gareth McAllister starting 11th. Felipe Garcia starting 12th. We've got Xavier Zanave starting 13th. Mari Fernandez starting 14th. Felipe Ramos starting 15th. Norman King, 16th on the grid. Ricardo Espino starting 17th. Gustavo Gravina starting 18th. Danilo Sparapani starting 19th on the grid. And that will round out the field here tonight. Drivers getting lined up, ready to go. Peterson in that top spot. He'll be accompanied by Aguilar in the number 72 machine. Paula saying, hey, nice qualifying to Peterson, the number 24 machine. Waiting on a couple more drivers to make their way on the grid. We're waiting on Ricardo Espino in the number 70. Hopefully Espino getting it together here so he can make the grid, but it's not looking good. Drivers getting a little bit antes here. Here, a few of the guys revving the engines. Espino does make his way onto the grid. Lights getting ready to come on. And away we go for the League Zero feature event. Peterson with a great start, but look at Aguilar trying to make something happen on the outside line. Here comes Brad Tritton as well in third place, as the field pretty stacked up. But oh no, around goes, who was that? Oh, that's not good. You can't park there. I think that's Brad Trenton parked on top of Peterson. Peterson pulls him off and slings him around. We're focusing on Peterson, number 24 machine. Just loops it. And look at that. Poor Trenton, nowhere to go. And look at this. This is going to be my favorite replay of the year. Slings him off and decides that's going to be it. So Raymond Aguilar is out front. Felipe Garcia, we see a little bit of smoke going on back here in the battle for 10th. Felipe Ramos, Nick Peterson, Brad Trenton, all back to pit road early on tonight. They will be done and out of the evening as we've got more carnage going on. Julie Redmond, Chase Small, Connor Scribner, Redinger comes sliding in. They're still piling in. Norman King, Sparapani. I'm not sure what's going on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but it's definitely not good. We're focused on Redmond and her number 76 machine to see what happened to her, if it's a single car incident. And yeah, spins it around the brakes. The number 5 tips it in. Redmond trying to sit, but she's in a dangerous spot. There comes Redinger. And the rest of the field just keeps piling in. Well, I think by the end of this, we're not going to have too many drivers left. As if my live timing is right, 7 drivers already down pit road. Some of them may be able to get out, but Ramos, Peterson, Trenton definitely done for the night. As Aguilar has a healthy lead over John Kasai. Number 3 machine, Chase Small, sits in 3rd. And now Redinger, Fernandez, King, Espino, Gravina, all in their box. Looks like Redmond was able to stay out in the 76 machine. As the top 3 very stretched out early on, about 3 seconds separating first through third as it stands. If we go a little bit further back, though, a 3-car battle for 4th is underway. Connor Scribner, Hunter Graves, Kevin Burrows running 4, 5, 6. All within a half second of each other. Now, it looks like they're gaining ground on 3rd place, Chase Small as well, and the number 5 machine. We may have a race form up here after all, ladies and gentlemen, as 4th place Connor Scribner does have the fastest lap of the race that time by a 1:31.36. But look at Scribner starting to put some pressure on Small, really closing the gap. As we get a report, Fernandez, King, and Espino do roll out of pit road together. Gravina in there for an extended save. Mari Fernandez goes back to pit road. Car being too unsafe to drive. As the field stacking up behind 3rd place Chase Small. Now, Small been able to avoid some of the early carnage here tonight. He's up 5 spots in the number 5 machine. But it looks like Scribner's going to put a whole lot of pressure looking to the inside line. Will he make the pass for 3rd stick? And it looks like he will do so quite cleanly. Narrowly avoiding the wall of champions here. The Scribner will gain 1 spot, putting himself into podium contention. Now, will Small be able to hang on? As it looks like Graves and Burrows are going to be in hot pursuit here. There's Graves in the all-yellow number 37. As it looks like Small doing a pretty good job keeping up with Scribner there. But out of the 19 entries, we are down to only 12 on the lead lap. As we check back in on your race leader, Raymond Aguilar, he's built up almost a 2-second advantage to John Kasai. Again, as we talked about rolling into tonight's feature event, Kasai picking up his first season win during the sprint just last week, trying to get some momentum formed up in the number 3 machine to see if he can continue progressing forward. As you can see, Kasai just in the background, passing the Napa Auto Bridge number 3 machine. Now, luckily for him, although he's not within striking distance of Aguilar, he does have about a 2.6 second advantage over Connor Scribner in third. We got something else going on towards the back. Peter Rettinger finds himself pointed the wrong way in the 44. Rettinger involved in those early incidents, maybe driving with a little bit of damage here. Same deal, too much brakes. Almost looks like the drivers, not quite sure. It almost looks like they're transferring too much weight to the front of the car, allowing that rear end to dance around. And we are chewing up some race cars here tonight. Small staying right there with Scribner and not really allowing Hunter Graves, number 37 machine, to gain too much momentum. Further back, Ravina having internet problems on number 81 machine. He may be somebody else to keep an eye out on here, as I think there was a little bit of a bobble out of Scribner, as Small very briefly closed the gap rather quickly, as well as allowing Graves to catch up. As now it looks like the battle may be shaping up for 6th, as McAllister running the number 25, the young Australian who's up 4 spots into 7. Seems to be closing a gap to Kevin Burrows. It was over a second. Now it's just about, we'll call it about 7/10 here. What a great shot. These guys carrying so much speed. Burrows building up a little bit more pace once more. Going about a 10th over McAllister. And Burrows has a long way to go if he wants to work his way up inside the top 5. He's 2 seconds back from 5th place Hunter Graves. Burrows has been fairly consistent so far this season. Although he has yet to lead a lap, he's been inside the top 5 10 different times consistently, very consistently inside the top 10, 17 top 10 finishes, with an average finish of about 11th here at League Zero. And he's got about, looks like 2 podiums back to his name. The last time we've seen Burrows up inside the post-race interview room was way back on April 7th, where he brought home a 3rd at Brands Hatch. Other than that, it was quite a dry spell. You have to look all the way back to March 3rd, where he got a 3rd at Silverstone. Uh-oh, Felipe Garcia's got problems. I'm willing to bet it's going to be the exact same move we've seen time after time here tonight. Let's see if it's a problem with heavy braking. Yep, just enough for the car to get unsettled, losing it. Well done staying off the racing surface, and look at the J-turn. Nice done getting it spun back around. I don't think the battle for third is over here. You've got Connor Scribner running third, Chase Small 9/10 back, Hunter Graves 7/10 back from him. Bit of a yo-yo game going on. These three drivers look very equal as far as pace goes. But this could come down to strategy to see who's going to side that final podium spot. Aguilar is absolutely checked out, 2.3 seconds ahead of John Kasai. Kasai 2.3 seconds ahead of Scribner. This is very much a night of consistency for our drivers. Who's going to be the smoothest over the duration of the run? Got a battle forming up for 8th as well. Danilo Sparapani, who's up 10 positions in the number 9 machine, putting the pressure on Xavier Zanave. Xavier having a good night as well. He's up 5 spots in the number 12, has worked his way up into 8th. Sparapani was involved in some of those early ARCA breaks where we saw drivers come together. Looks to the inside line of Zanave. And you can't ask for a much cleaner pass than that, but Zanave doesn't look content giving it to Xavier here. Excuse me, yeah, Zanave not looking content giving it to Sparapani. Looks like he was going to try and drag race the bright pink number 9, but Sparapani set up for the inside line. And Zanave not necessarily looking for a high-low maneuver there, opting to settle in behind the Brazilian driver. Maybe just try and click off some laps together, but we've got something going on for 4th as well. Hunter Graves has picked up the spot from Chase Small. And Chase Small with a bit of an off track there, loses a whole bunch of time. Now here comes Burrows, here comes McAllister right behind, a little 3-car pack in the battle for the top 5. Man, look how close they're getting to the wall there. As Redmond comes down pit road on lap 10 for her first stop of the evening. Redmond out of pit road after her first green flag stop. It was on lap 9 for her. So I'm thinking she's going to have to come down pit road once more just based on the fuel numbers we've seen out of these drivers in the past. It'll be very interesting to see how this is going to pan out. As up front, smooth sailing for Raymond Aguilar. Still holding about a 2-second gap over Kasai. I don't think either one of those drivers in too much of a hurry here, knowing they've got a very comfortable lead. As I say that, Kasai had some sort of moment as Scribner makes the pass for second. What happened to Kasai there? Did he have a slowdown, I wonder? Surely he did. As right as I was saying, Kasai didn't look like too pressured on the gas. Throws the anchor out, and around comes Scribner for second. So now that'll give about a 3.6 second advantage to your race leader, Raymond Aguilar. As Scribner pulling a healthy 1 second gap away from Kasai very quickly after Kasai hopped out of the way. I can only assume Kasai had a slowdown from the final time delta here, having to bleed off speed in the safest way he could. So will we see the number 3 machine charge back up towards the front and at least put the pressure on Scribner? Aguilar may be too far ahead for anybody to make any big moves, but in the past, we've also seen Aguilar run out of fuel here in a feature event and had to sputter down pit road for green flag stop, costing him massive amounts of time. Case Small running 5th, also coming down pit road for a green flag stop. Now, if you're just tuning in and maybe for the first time, these drivers are going to have the box 1 planned time here for the feature event, while the sprint race to follow immediately after is wide open. Half the laps, no planned stops. And not an extremely rare occurrence to see the safety car come out. As we go on board, John, the propane man, Kasai. He sees his chance of second slipping away. That's Connor Scribner in the foreground, who's managed to pull it now to a 1.3 tenths advantage, as your race leader Aguilar has pulled his advantage to just about 4 seconds here over the number 18 machine. But look at this, now Aguilar is going to have traffic to contend with very early on. We only have 12 drivers on the lead lap. And 4 drivers out of those who originally entered sent it back to the virtual hauler very early on. Aguilar has to be careful here as he gets ready to work through traffic. That's going to be number 81, Gustavo Gravina. And Aguilar, oh, well done to Gravina, hopping out of the way, realizing the blue flag is out and allowing the race leader by. But this is an interesting spot for Aguilar to be in, because he has to worry about the drivers around him that maybe not run the same pace. And when he starts backing off the pace, playing it safe, not wanting to make any big lunges on traffic, takes a bit of aero off the car as well, and kind of basically a new car at those speeds, something you're not really used to handling. Especially when you've clicked off 13 wide open laps, the car can feel very unsettled at slow speeds, and you can definitely see how much these drivers are working the brakes as those front rotors especially glow red. Be a good shot of the rotors here as he tips it into the right. There you go, bright red on the front rotors from Aguilar. Jay Small back out on track, still running 10th in the number 5 machine. Aguilar still clicking it off up there. He's a little bit slower that last time by. Just about 7-8 slower than his fastest lap, but he did have traffic to contend with. And even with traffic, he was about 0.2 faster than Scribner's last lap. But how much more traffic will Aguilar have to face here tonight? He's got 8 laps left to go, or 24 minutes, whatever is going to come first. Should be the 8 laps. We got about 12 minutes left of racing if I'm doing my math correct up here in the broadcast booth. And the field very stretched out, as you can tell by the live timing tower on the left side of your screen. Aguilar still with just shy of a 3-second gap over Scribner. Scribner has a 3.2-second gap over John Kasai. As now Kevin Burrows will come down pit road for his one and only stop. Gustavo Gravina will follow suit. Like McAllister and Sparapani stay out. They'll move up to 5th and 6th respectively. But after the early carnage, a lot of the drivers extremely far apart here, but keep an eye on Scribner. I'm not sure if Scribner's maybe wicking it up here, or Aguilar's taking it nice and easy out front. But Scribner was just about 0.8 of a second faster that last time by, closing the 2.5-second gap that Aguilar has. As you can see, that's Aguilar at the front of your screen. Right behind him, 2.5 seconds back, is Connor Scribner. Last time by, Scribner 0.4 faster than your race leader. But I would think Aguilar's just playing it safe at this point, as we're fairly far into the run. The tires are fully in. They're heated up. They're gripping at the best they will be able to tonight. And also, maybe even more importantly, the gas tanks running low, making the cars light. And this is where you're going to see some very fast lap from our competitors. Aguilar's last time by, a 131.44. Scribner with a 131.08. Scribner holds, a big blink from Scribner. That's the last thing he wants out of the number 18 machine. But he does have about a 4-second gap over John Kasai, running 3rd in the number 3 machine. Again, Kasai picked up the win last week, wants to get something going, as Gustavo finds himself parked in an inopportune position. Let's see what happened to the number 81 machine. Ooh, tags the wall, a very high-speed crash. Locks it up, but he will be done and out for the evening, facing heavy damage. Now up front, John Kasai, Hunter Graves, both down pit road together, as Aguilar and Scribner opt to stay out just a little while longer. That'll allow McAllister, Sparapani to move up to 3rd and 4th as they stay out a little while longer here. Kasai will rejoin the circuit in 5th place after his lap 16 stop. Let's take a peek at Hunter Graves. He's trying to work his way back through traffic once more. Xavier Zanave just ahead of him, and the number 12 machine has yet to come down pit road. So will Graves push the issue? Or is he going to follow behind, knowing that Zanave will have to come down pit road in fairly short order here? Raymond Aguilar, your race leader, comes down pit road for his one and only time. Connor Scribner is going to follow him in. Will McAllister and Sparapani running third and fourth follow suit. McAllister opts to stay out. Maybe trying to get a lap led here tonight. Oh, Hunter Graves has problems. What a rejoin. And let's see what happened to Graves. So that almost got very exciting very quickly. We were just talking about him being right behind Zanave. Takes a peek at the inside line, but what's going to happen here? Zanave's got, he's got about a half car on him. Graves way on the brakes. Zanave missed his mark. Oh, I've seen this before. We've taught this in our riding school, but look at this hopping out of the way. Okay, in the first angle, I thought he crossed the hot track, so that's much better. But we've taught that in the racing schools I was a part of, in the classroom sessions I've coached myself. Don't ever try and outbrake the other driver, rider, whatever it may be. Because when you both start looking over at each other and saying, I'm going to outbrake that guy, next thing you know, neither driver hits the brakes. And that looked like that was the case for Zanave, who went in way too deep. As McAllister comes down pit road for his one and only stop. Aguilar will still get the lap led. That's Connor Scribner, 1.9 seconds back from your race leader. Don Kasai takes over third position once more as McAllister is in his pit stall. Chase Small running fifth on track. It's about 0.6 back from Kevin Burrows. There's McAllister 1.4 back from this future battle for fourth. Tough to see which of these drivers have an advantage if they do. Looking very equally matched on pace here. Balls may be able to pick up the draft from Burrows' number 80 machine. Oh yeah, Small's really in the draft here now, reeling up to the 80. Trying to work his number 5 machine just a little higher in the top 5, but this is the apex there. Gives about a half second back to Burrows. As who's that in the background? That's Danilo Sparapani on the tail, the gearbox of Hunter Graves in the 37. Sparapani looks to the inside line. Who's it gonna be here? Sparapani not afraid to throw it in there. But look at this, Connor Scribner with the fastest lap of the race, running second. He clicked off a 1:30.74. A full 10th faster than Aguilar's been able to do here today. So Scribner finding something late in the race. As Ricardo Espino finds himself off track right as the race leaders came by. Thankfully, nobody getting collected in that one, a single car incident. Scribner 1.7 seconds back from Aguilar. Just a couple of laps left to make something happen. Scribner has the pace, but is it too late in the run to really do anything with it? He can see Aguilar dangling the carrot ahead in the number 72 machine. That last time by, though, Aguilar answers with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:30.57. But a little bit of smoke there through the first chicane out of Aguilar's 72. Maybe a bit of a micro lockup on the brakes, but I love this shot here in Canada, the beautiful overhead drone view. As we're late in the race, drivers clicking off personal best. Sparapani with a 1:30.95. So it looks like everybody getting substantially quicker as the run charges on. If this feature event is anything to go off of, I'm very excited to see what our sprint race will do following just shortly after this. Scribner trying to chase down Aguilar, but I don't think he's going to have enough left to do it, as Aguilar has shown what he's got in his back pocket. Is it going to be another fast lap here? Will he improve on a 1:30.58? As he is absolutely hot lapping out here as the white flag is out. And yes, Aguilar with a 1:30.56, his fastest lap of the race. Scribner clicks off his fastest with a 1:30.69. So both these drivers wicking it up here at the tail end. Now Aguilar's got to be happy as he is our current points leader running into tonight's main event, the feature event, pulling a 21-point gap over Josh Green, as Green was at Barber last week with some real-life racing shenanigans. Scribner could gain some big points here tonight. He is currently 8th in points. 3rd in points is Brad Tritton, who's involved in that lap 1 incident. So the number 26 machine, Brad Tritton, not going to score anything in this feature event, and he may lose some ground here to some of the other drivers charging up in the point standings. And the checkered flag is out. Raymond Aguilar picks up the feature win. Connor Scribner brings home a 2nd. And it looks like John Kasai going to hold on to that podium spot, finishing 3rd. And now it's time for the trademark burnouts and shenanigans and sacrificial car parts. So we are going to wait for our top 3 drivers to make their way up into the waiting room. That's Raymond Aguilar, Connor Scribner, John Kasai. As up first, we've got John Kasai, number 3 machine, a very strong 3rd here tonight. And looks like that momentum we talked about last week starting to pay off, getting up here a little bit more often here into victory lane.
Yeah, man, feeling really good about this one. I feel, that slowdown the slowdowns here are brutal. Man, I think that lost me 3 seconds. I would have really liked to battle Connor a little more, but Yeah, I'm real happy on third.
Yeah, we didn't quite see it or able to pick it up on the camera here, but we saw you kind of throw the anchor out of the number 3 machine heading down the start finish line straight. So was that what that was? Was a slowdown in the chicane, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I locked up into the wall of champions and had to take that big yellow curb, which costs you about a second already. Well, half a second probably already. And then it gave me a 2.3-second slowdown that I had to bleed off between, the first couple of corners. And so, yeah, I basically had to just ride the brakes on that straight.
Well, bad luck, but hey, still able to bring home a third here in the feature event. Now, John, you're getting a little bit more used to starting at that mid-pack for the sprint race as you've been doing so well in the features. What's the plan to try and charge through the field safely and continue that momentum you're starting to build up?
Well, the tires when they're cold here, that downhill, I don't remember the exact corner number, but at the beginning of the track, kind of right, left, downhill. If someone hits a wall here, it's game over for everyone behind them. So I think my strategy is to just take it easy the first lap, actually, and just kind of let the race come to me.
Well, awesome, John. We're looking forward to it. Congratulations, another great finish here tonight, picking up that final podium spot. Who do you want to give a shout out to that helped you get up here this evening?
As always, my wife Laura and my son and my mom and dad, and everyone for tuning in and watching. And you, James, you're the man.
Oh, my pleasure as always, man. Good luck, John. I'm looking forward to see you doing well in that sprint race.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, sir. That was John Kasai bringing home a third. Up next, we've got Connor Scribner bringing home a hard-fought second. Connor, welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Well, it looked like a pretty exciting night, and it looked like things almost got a little bit squirrely as Kasai had that slowdown, but it was shaping up to be a good race all the way around.
Yeah, it was a really exciting race. The start was very scary. This with the spin right there coming out of I guess that's turn 3. I was really nervous that I would make contact early and just have it all blow up. But thankfully I fell back a little bit, but it all worked out in the end. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, great night. And Connor, you've been very consistent so far this season, doing well in the points and really gaining some ground later on in the end of the season, or as we kind of wind down closer to the end. Looks like you're about 8th in points coming into tonight, but what's your plan for the rest of the season? Are you going to try, maybe squeeze out a top 5, or what's the goal for you in the number 18 machine by the time we throw the final checker?
Yeah, I mean, I can't say I have any specific position goal. I more feel like, I just every week I have to have the goal to maximize what I can do pace wise that week. Because otherwise you push yourself too hard, you throw yourself into a spin, and then you throw it all away. So it's always just about taking with racing, it's about focusing on every single breaking point, every single apex, every single corner. So there's no reason to worry about things like that until the end.
Awesome. Well said, Connor, and great job as always. A good finish up here in second. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you make that happen, the number 18 machine this evening?
I feel like I have to shout out my imaginary sponsor, Morton Salt. Every day I'm thankful to have salt. And so I feel like, I just a little shout out for them for making life taste a little better.
Awesome. Connor, great time talking to you as always, my friend. Hope to see you do well in the sprint race, and congratulations on second tonight.
Yeah, have a nice night.
You as well, buddy. That was Connor Scribner bringing home the second. But up next, the man, the myth, the legend, Raymond Aguilar on rails here tonight in Canada. All right, then, keep your secrets. Oh, I think Raymond's got a bit of a technical issue out of the number 72 microphone. The Little Debbie back 72. Fast on track, but having the old microphone issues this evening. Gonna see if maybe Aguilar can hear me now, perhaps. No is the answer. Raymond Aguilar has some sort of issues. Hopefully we can get that corrected for him, as we would really like to talk to our race winner. I'll tell you what we'll do, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to run a commercial break. We're going to hang out for a little bit before the sprint race and see if that gives Aguilar enough time to get his life together. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Raymond Aguilar's podium speech as well as the sprint race of the evening.
There we go.
Welcome back, race fans. We're accompanied by Raymond Aguilar picking up the win in the opening feature event. Raymond, it looked like it was your race start to finish and pretty much kept control of the car the entire time. No major moments, it looked like, out of the 72.
Yeah, I got lucky early on. Both of the folks that were rivaling my times in qualifying crashed in the very first, or I guess second turn, so worked out pretty well. The only luck I didn't have was I stubbed my toe up on the way to the booth here and barely made it.
Yeah, gotta be careful. We don't have workman's comp here at League Zero. At least I don't. Maybe some of you racers do. But Raymond Aguilar, in races in the past, drivers complain about hot, greasy track temps. Doesn't seem like that's the case here in Canada, but still seeing a lot of self-spins, especially under the braking. So what is causing that? Is it drivers unloading the rear, or what's the issue we're seeing?
I think it's this FIA setup we've been given here. It's the track seems like it's got a lot of grip, but the car is pretty slidey on the whole thing. So we're working through that. We're running some data to try to figure out what's going on, but we can't. Engineers can't quite pin it down.
Well, Raymond, we'll be quick since I know you got that sprint race to get ready for. So real fast, who do you want to give a shout out to? Friends, family, sponsors that helped you win that feature event here this evening.
I want to give a shout out to my wife. She took care of things so that I could be here this weekend, make it all the way up to Montreal, and my team, Track Limit Racing.
Awesome, Raymond. Good luck out there, my friend. Always a great time talking to you, and hope to see you doing it again later tonight.
Yep. Thanks, James.
That was Raymond Aguilar picking up the win here for the feature event. But it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the action. What you've all been waiting for. The sprint race here in Montreal. And it's going to be exciting. Again, the top 12 reverse grids. As it looks like it's going to be Peter Rettinger in the top spot. Redmond, Garcia, Denave, Graves, the top 5. Sparapani, McAllister, Small, Burrows, running 6th through 9th. And then Kasai, Scribner, and Aguilar, who were your top 3 in the feature event. They're going to be starting all the way back, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Only 11 laps left to make something happen. As we get ready for the lights to turn on. And away we go. What's going to happen is this is where we're expecting things to get mighty exciting, mighty quickly. It looks like everybody keeping it on track so far. As keep an eye out for Aguilar, who's going to have to cut through the field. But right now it's Redmond leading the charge as the field stacks up. Looks like that's Aguilar all over the gearbox of John Kasai. Oh, that's not a good spot. That's Sparapani around. Drifts back out on track, doesn't lock up the brakes. Brad Tritt involved in that one. I think that was Espino, Trenton, and Sparapani in a massive crash. Oh, that's why you got to hold the brakes, ladies and gentlemen. Sparapani trying to see if he loses it by himself. Looks like a little bit of net code. Oh, a lot of net code. Around goes Sparapani. Backs up into the raceway. And just absolute violence. Thankfully, the rest of the field saw what was happening, checked up. But Sparapani, Tritton, and Espino will be done and out of this one. As Julie Redmond, the number 76 machine, leads the charge 1 second ahead of Peter Rettinger in the 44. We've seen this very recently with John Kasai getting his first career win last week in the sprint race. After a lot of fast drivers had issues, this could be Redmond's moment here, looking for her first win, but you see a bit of a micro lockup through 1 and 2. Still holding a 1 second gap, because if we go back to Rettinger, he's got Garcia, he's got Zanave, he's got Graves, all running nose to tail. I don't know what we're going to see here, but I'm excited, looking for possibly another first-time winner this evening. Redmond's pulled her gap to now 1.1, let's call it 1.5 seconds. Let's call it 1.1 as it zigzags back and forth. Yo-yos to be more apt. Will Rettinger, the Austrian, be able to catch up to the 76, or are we going to see Garcia, Zanave, and friends start to close the gap? There's about 5 drivers that are all going to be fighting here very, very soon for those second and third place spots. Garcia trying to catch up. We're looking at Xavier Zanave, who's getting a lot of pressure from Hunter Graves. Graves looks to the inside line. Ooh, it very quickly slides on through into 4th. Looks like Chase Small is going to follow suit in the number 5. Redmond has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:31.4. Everybody behind her looks to be, in the most part, in the low 32s here. As we're watching Small try to battle back with Zanave. Ooh, and around goes Zanave. Too hard on the brakes, spins it around. As somebody else follows suit, that's Norman King in the 28. Synchronized crashing here. You hate to see any of our friends send it careening around, but we're always happy when it looks good, and more importantly, no real damage done. Redmond hold on to a 1.2 second gap over Rettinger. The top 3, top 5 starting to spread out ever so slightly. Only 8 laps left to go. Redmond looking for her first career win. Really, I think Redmond's looking for her first point here. Trying to find her on the standings, not having any such luck. No, I take that back. Redmond's got 8 points to her name, 34th in the standings. But she's only done 3 rounds so far, not counting the sprint, the feature event here tonight. So this will be her 5th time on track for the League Zero Formula 3 Series, sponsored by Nemesis Labs. And she would like absolutely nothing more to pick up a win. Nicholas Marshall here is cheering her on from the stands. Now I hope to not hit her with the commentator's curse, but as far as pace goes, she's looking good. Rettinger put down an almost identical fast lap, but with Redmond 1.3 seconds ahead of the Austrian driver, it's going to be a game of consistency here. Redmond has pulled a gap to now 1.4 seconds ahead of Rettinger. Last time by, she was just shy of a 10th faster in the all-black 44. Now Rettinger in a good spot as well. He's about 1.9 seconds ahead of Garcia in the number 19 machine, running 3rd. So right now Rettinger has pretty much clean track ahead of him to put his head down and focus to try and, I believe, pick up his first win as well. Looks like all top 3 drivers getting further spread apart. Redmond now with a 1.6, 1.7 second advantage. Rettinger has made it about a 2.2 second gap over Garcia. And Graves starting to charge towards the front. This may bode well for Redmond and Rettinger. The longer drivers behind them are battling for those positions, the more of a gap they can build up. and try and make something happen here. Redinger looking for his first podium of the season as well. But I think the battle's about to get heated for third. Oh, here we go. Graves trying to make something happen on the Brazilian number 19. He's tucked in right behind him. Takes a peek at the inside line. Who's going to be gutsier on the brakes? It'll be Garcia as Graves backs out of it, maybe wisely there. And that's also allowing Chase Small, the number 5 machine, to get a little bit closer. Here comes Graves again for another attempt at it. Garcia very safe on the brakes on the inside line, trying to leave plenty of space for the number 5. Small is going to make it happen on the outside line, but here comes... Graves makes it happen on the outside line, but here comes Small and Aguilar working his way back into the fray as well. Will Garcia try and pay back the favor? Not able to make it happen, but here comes Small. Aguilar right behind as well, watching the battle unfold. And things are about to get frantic as Small tries to throw it up the inside line of Garcia, using all the brakes and not having enough with it. Small looking for any way through here. He's got Aguilar, his teammate, right behind him. And again, this is only slowing down the pace from about third place back. Redmond now has a 2.7 second advantage over Redinger. Redinger 2.6 over Graves. Oh, we've got something going on with Scribner. What happened to the number 18 machine? He's involved in an issue. Had picked up a second, and I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, we see him lock up the brakes, but I'm not sure if that was from anticipation or what just happened. Right now we're watching Hunter Graves still in third. He's got Felipe Garcia, Raymond Aguilar, Chase Small in hot pursuit. We're gonna pan the camera back to Garcia. Garcia in the hot speed right now, or hot seat. He's got Aguilar right behind him, who just came off a win, who is no stranger to what it takes to throw it in here as they go side by side. Aguilar trying to take the long way around the number 19 machine. It shows him ahead by 0.02 of a second. Chase Small going to give the draft support to his teammate. As Garcia not backing out of it here. Oh, look how deep Aguilar in on the brakes, too deep. As he cuts through the chicane at the Wall of Champions, he's going to get a slowdown there. Surely he communicates to his teammate Small. As yes, Aguilar tries to bleed off some speed here. He's only got 2 laps left to try and make something happen because out front, Julie Redmond on rails in the number 76 machine, absolutely flying. He's got a 2.5 second advantage over Redinger. Again, her 5th time on track here for the League Zero Formula 3 Series, and really starting to come into her own. Oh, as we check in at Garcia at an interesting time, hear him scraping the sidewalls. I think he caught a little bit of side wheel there on the wall. He's trying to keep Chase Small within striking distance in that battle for 4th. Only a couple of short laps left for these drivers. As you see Aguilar and McAllister linking up nose to tail. No, that was, I guess that was Aguilar and McAllister. McAllister in a good spot here as well, running 7th exactly as he started in the number 25 machine, but able to tuck in behind Aguilar for a little while, maybe learn some tricks. Mari Fernandez parks it off track. Chase Small has issues. Chase Small has issues. So Small will go from 4th back to 6th as he spins it around. Well done locking up the brakes though. A little bit more of a mistake and he could have found himself in a very dangerous spot. And that has allowed Aguilar to catch back up to Garcia in the battle for 4th. Aguilar squarely on the inside line this time, not going to take any chances. Picks up the spot, moves up into 4th, up 8 positions from where he started. But Aguilar, your feature event winner, is, let's call it about 5 seconds back. And Garcia had a gutsy move, unfortunately didn't make it stick there, and he goes around trying to make the pass back onto Aguilar. Gotta give him credit, absolutely sent it. But just a short-lived one there. White flag is out for Julia Redmond. Looking good to pick up her very first win here at the League Zero Formula 3 Series, sponsored by Nemesis Labs Simulation and Gaming Solutions. As I think, barring any shenanigans on this final lap, our top 3 may be fairly locked in here. Less than half a lap left to go for Redmond. 3.7 seconds up over Redinger. Redinger a 1.5 seconds over Graves. Just a few short turns left for Redmond. Coming by the wall of champions, Julie Redmond celebrating as she picks up her very first win. Redinger brings home the 2nd, and Graves rounds out our top 3. Time for a bit of a victory burnout out of the 76 machine. A well-deserved win it was. And as always, the top three all but decided until the very end. But Redmond enjoying the moment here in her 76 machine. What an absolutely great race from up front. We're going to try and get our top three drivers up here to the waiting room. We've got Redinger waiting on Graves and Redmond. But as far as sprint races go, not as much carnage as we've seen in the past. And fairly great racing all the way through. Again, we're waiting on Graves. We're waiting on Redmond. All right, we're going to get things started with Hunter Graves, the number 37 machine. Hunter, welcome to the top three, my friend. Looked like a fairly clean race from your point of view. Oh, I heard you briefly, Hunter.
Hang on.
I don't think Hunter knows he's in the broadcast booth.
No, I'm here.
There
How
we
are
go.
you?
Hunter Graves
Yeah.
making his way up. A top three, very clean race. And it looked like not too many big moments out of you there tonight.
No, just in the feature. Kind of blew that one, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah, that's why they call it racing and not collecting a paycheck, my friend. But Hunter, we haven't seen you up here enough this season. What allowed you to kind of bring it together at the end at Canada? I mean, it looked like things went well and didn't have many issues, if at all, tonight.
Yeah, I think it's proof that if you show up to 20 races, eventually you'll find your way in the podium.
So the old shotgun approach out of the New England 37.
Yeah.
Now, Hunter, what's your feelings on the setups as this season's been going on? Are you getting more comfortable with a fast and loose car? Or are you still fighting with it like a lot of the other drivers, or what are you kind of feeling?
I mean, we're all in the same car, so I mean, I'm not really too concerned with that. Like, it is what it is. Like, sometimes you show up and, like, if the track temp's hot, it's a little loose, but we're all in the same car.
Well said, Hunter. Great run out there, the 37 machine, and again, good having you up here. It's been a lot of fun calling all your action, even though I don't get to talk to you enough. Who do you want to give a shout out to tonight that helped you finish up here in third?
Shout out to my wife for watching my kid for all these races, and my teammate Anthony Asianati, and the guys in the midfield I'm fighting with every week, like Danilo and Pete, that keep it clean. So.
Yeah, you guys put on a good show. Hunter, great time talking to my friend. Congratulations on third, and hope to have you back up here in the near future.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir. That was Hunter Graves bringing home the third. Up next, my favorite Austrian, Peter Redinger. Great finish tonight, buddy. A good second, a clean race car. What more can you ask
thank
for?
you very much. Yes, I did not expect that, to be honest. Actually, I did expect to spin out somewhere, but I tried my best to keep on the track, keep it easy, and just keep my gap. And it turned out that worked.
Now, Peter, talking about trying to hold on the car and keep it from spinning around, what is the trick out here to keep that? We've seen so many drivers either on the brakes or on the throttle, then it's spinning around. So what was your strategy to keep it pointed in the right direction?
Be very gentle on the exits with the throttle. That was crucial, actually. And do not hit the curbs. Really do not hit the curbs. It's really bad. So I got a spun in the first race because just hitting the curb and I was spin around, and I tried to avoid that at any cost in the sprint now, and well, I succeeded.
That you did, my friend. Now, Peter, for those watching along at home or for me in the broadcast booth, you talk about the curbing. What's it doing? Are they too high, too bumpy? What is it that upsets the car so much and wants to spin around?
You just get a little bump and then you lose the grip on one tire. And if you have a little bit on throttle at that point, you get a spin on the rear. So that's the point, actually. That's the problem.
Okay.
So one thing to catch it is actually to just let off the throttle and hope to not unsettle the car too much. Then you can actually save it.
Well, very, very well said as always, Peter. Peter, I get to talk to you all the time. Unfortunately, not up here in the interview room as often as I would like.
I'm happy to be here.
I know, man. It's been a long time coming. It's been way too long, Peter. But it's been a great time watching your race, getting faster and more importantly, more consistent each and every time you're out on track. And who do you want to give a shout to that helped you get up here with that second place finish?
Well, basically everyone, because everyone is part of it, letting me train and letting me be part of some great racers, and that was what made me better.
Oh, awesome, Peter. I couldn't said it better myself, and hope to see you up here more often, my friend.
Fully yes.
That was Peter Redger, the lovable Aussie, getting a bit, excuse me, not Aussie, he's going to kill me. Lovely Austrian, the number 44 machine, picking up that hard-fought second. But up next, normally we say this is the man of the hour, but Julie Redmond, welcome to the top spot.
Hey, what's going on? That's crazy, isn't it?
Life is good, picking up a win, your first win, fifth time out on track here for League Zero, and that's a pretty good entrance.
Whew, I'm tired after that. That was insane.
Now, Julie, I mean, I have a little bit of experience racing, but some of our fans listening in on tonight maybe don't. Kind of explain to them about when you're leading those last laps and it's your first time possibly in a top spot contention, how much more nerve-wracking is it? How much more tiring is it compared to riding around in 12th and looking for a personal best?
Right. Honestly, it's very nerve-wracking. I thought, oh, all right, I might win this thing. Here I am leading. I'm not sure how that even happened, but I'll take it. And I was able to keep him kind of at bay. I was, gaining a little bit of time each lap. And I thought the last 3 laps, honest to God, I just tried to keep the same gap. I didn't push as hard as I was because I didn't want to wreck.
And Julie, coming out to the League Zero Series as a newcomer, you don't know a lot of the drivers out on track. You're not. I could be talking out my rear end here, but for me, you don't have as much time to kind of build up that repertoire and get to know what drivers are going to do or what they might do at the wrong time. So how do you make those calls early on in the career here on when to push hard, when to make passes, and when to play it safe?
Well, I guess it's a personal thing. I tend to be fairly conservative. I don't throw my nose in there. If I know I can pull it off, I will. If there's any doubt, I'll just wait. But there are other drivers I noticed in the league that will just jump right in there, and it's a little scary, getting used to who's who. But
Well, I think after tonight, Julie, they're going to know who you are at the very least of it. Very well done, making a great entrance 5 rounds in, pick up the first win. A lot of momentum to build off of here, but I know it's your first time in the interview booth and first time in the top spot. You've got the privilege, the pleasure, though, my friend, the final send-offs of the evening. Who do you want to give a shout to that helped you get up here in victory lane?
well, I would say my teammate, but he couldn't make it tonight, Nicholas. So I was on my own, and I didn't do any practice at all. So I just jumped on at 7:30 my time and tried to get used to the track and the setup, and I really didn't expect that at all. So
Well,
I'll take it.
that's the ticket. Just show up cold and smack some kids around. So, Julie, great job tonight. Welcome to our large dysfunctional family, and congratulations on that first massive win here.
All right. Thank you very much.
Very welcome.
All right. Bye.
That was Julie Redmond picking up her very first win of the season. Peter Rettinger getting second, and Hunter Graves rounding out the podium. As always, thank you so much to our viewers from across the world. We couldn't do without you guys each and every week. I appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. And we look forward to having you back same time, same place next week. Have a great night, everybody.